Now we'll discuss the inflows and outflows from the IEPF. What are the amounts to be created to the IEPF and what are the utilization or application of funds of the IEPF. So first we'll discuss the credits to the fund IEPF. What are the amounts to be transferred to the IEPF? This is inflows, receipts account. So we are discussing receipts and payments account. In simple words, what we are discussing is a receipts and payments. This is receipts and this is a payments. We are discussing receipts and payments. So what are the amounts received by the IPF? Grants and donations from central government. Okay, central government will give grants and donations to the IPF. So IEPF will be at center. IEPF, Investor Education and Protection Fund. What is meant by IEPF? Investor Education and Protection Fund. So for that, central government and state government. Central government and state government gives what? Central government and state government gives grants or donations. Normally, grants are periodical and systematic. Donations are ad hoc, but it doesn't make much difference between grants and donations. End of the day, both are support from the government. Okay, grants or donations from central government or state government. Next, from the company, what are all the amounts transferred from the company? Company also transfers various amounts to the EPF. Company also transfers various amounts to the EPF. So what are the various amounts that is transferred to the company? First one is share application money. Okay, first one is share application money. Next, unpaid dividend. Next, unpaid dividend. Next, redemption amount of preferences. Redemption amount of preferences. Redemption amount of preferences. Next, matured debentures. Matured debentures. Next, matured deposits. Matured debentures. Matured deposits. Next, interest on deposits or debentures. Interest on deposits or debentures. So basically, these are the three items. These are the 6 items that will be transferred from the company to the EPF. These are the 6 items that will be transferred from the company to the IPF. So company transfers these 6 amounts to the IPF. Shares, share application money, unpaid dividend, redemption amount of preferences, mature debentures, mature deposits, interest on deposits or debentures. When this will be transferred? After 7 years from the due date. After 7 years remaining unclaimed. After 7 years remaining unclaimed. So if the shareholders or the debenture holders or the depositors are not coming forward to claim this dividend, if the shareholders or debenture holders or depositors are not coming forward to claim this these amounts for 7 years, company will wait for 7 years. Thereafter, company will transfer the amounts to the IPF. That is what these 2 points: unpaid dividend and this application amount, etc. And this application amount, etc. Now look at this amount received through disgorgement of securities. Amount received through disgorgement of securities under section 38. So first we have to discuss what is section 38. We'll discuss what is section 38. So section 38 says one shareholder committed fraud. Okay, one shareholder committed fraud. One shareholder committed fraud. Okay, and acquired shares from the company and acquired securities from the company. Okay, so one shareholder committed fraud and acquired securities from the company. Court convicted such shareholder. Court convicted or punished such shareholder. Court convicted or punished such shareholder. Okay, so such shareholder shall surrender his shares to the company. Such shareholder shall surrender or disgorge. Shall surrender or disgorge. Okay, disgorge or surrender one and the same. Such shareholder shall surrender his securities to the company. Okay, such shareholder shall surrender his securities to the company. Okay, company shall sell such securities in the market. Company shall sell such securities. Okay, so thereafter, and amount received. So sale amount will be transferred. Sale amount. Okay, the sale amount received by the company. Sale amount received by the company shall be transferred to IPF. Sale amount received by the company shall be transferred to IPF. So this is what section 38. One shareholder committed a fraud and acquired shares from the company. Court has punished such shareholder and such shareholder surrendered his shares to the company, and company will sell such securities, and the sale amount received by the company will be transferred to the IPF. That is what this amount received through disgorgement of securities. Okay, right. Next, amount received from fractional shares, amount received from fractional shares. Like in case of bonus issue, fractional bonus issue or fractional amalgamation. Okay, so what happens is that fractional amount, fractional shares, fractional shares. Say for example, company declared bonus issue. Company declared a bonus issue of 1:8. Company declared bonus issue of 1:8. So what is meant by 1:8 bonus issue? 8 existing shares will be eligible for one bonus shares. 8 existing shares will be eligible for one bonus share. That is the bonus ratio. For example, if A is holding 4 shares, A is holding 4 shares and B is holding 4 shares. So both together he will not be eligible for bonus shares and he will not be eligible for bonus shares because none of them is holding 8 shares. If they hold 8 shares, then only company will give bonus shares. So but if A is holding 4 shares and B is holding 4 shares, so together they will eligible for one bonus shares. Together they will be eligible for one bonus shares but not separately. So in that case, what the company will do is that company will sell this bonus share. Company will sell this one bonus share. Company will sell this one bonus share, and whatever the amount received, that will be paid to A and B proportionately. Okay, since neither A is eligible nor B is eligible separately, but combinedly they are eligible for one bonus share. So what the company will do is that one bonus share company will sell in the market. Whatever the amount obtained, that will be distributed to the shareholders proportionately. But if they are not coming forward to claim the amount for a period of 7 years, after 7 years that will be transferred to the IPF. Okay, that is what this point. Okay, amount received from sale of fractional shares, amount received from sale of fractional shares. So but here why we are using the word fraction? Because A is not eligible for full bonus share and B is not eligible for full bonus shares. A is eligible for half of the bonus share and B is eligible for half of the bonus share. Since we can't split the share, what we have done is that we showed the share, and whatever the amount we obtained, that we are distributing to the shareholders. Okay, that is what this point, amount received from sale of fractional shares, and income earned from investments of above amounts. So whatever the amounts received by these 5 amounts, IEPF will invest somewhere else. IEPF will invest this amount, say, in the bank fixed deposit. IEPF will put these amounts in the bank fixed deposit. Now whatever the amount bank interest will be paid on the bank fixed deposit. That is what the 6th point. Okay, inflow to the IEPF. That is what the 6th point, inflow to the IEPF. Income earned from investment of above amounts. Whatever the above 5 amounts received by the IEPF will put that amount to the bank fixed deposit. On that, IEPF will get interest. Or IEPF will utilize that amount to invest the government securities or bonds. From that also, IEPF will get interest. Okay, so investment of the amounts. So these are the receipts to the IEPF. Receipts are inflows to the IEPF. Next, we'll see outflows to the IEPF. So same amounts, whatever we have seen here, second and third point, that will be given as outflow here. That will be given as a outflow here, second, third, and fourth point. Okay, so outflows from the IEPF. Outflows from the IEPF. So from the IEPF will the same amounts will be outflows. The same amounts will be outflows to the concerned persons, to the shareholders or debenture holders or depositors. Shareholders, debenture holders, or depositors. Sir, what the company will pay that amount? What amounts the company will pay to shareholders, debenture holders, or depositors? Same 6 amounts. Same 6 amounts. Whatever the amounts received by the company, by the IEPF from the company, that will be paid to the eligible persons, legal heirs or other persons, shareholders, debenture holders, or depositors. Whatever the amount received by the IEPF from the company, the same amount will be given to the concerned stakeholders, shareholders, debenture holders, etc. That is what this first point. Okay. Next, IEPF will utilize that amount for conducting seminars, etc., TV channel programs on awareness of stock market, investing in the company shares, etc. So to conduct that free seminars or free TV programs on TV channels, so IEPF will utilize that amount. Next, reimbursement of legal expenses. Reimbursement of legal expenses incurred under section 37 and 245. Okay, what is that reimbursement of legal expenses? Okay, reimbursement of legal expenses. Reimbursement of legal expenses. Reimbursement of legal expenses. So what are the amounts, the reimbursement of legal expenses? So first point, there is a misstatement in prospectus. There is a misstatement in prospectus. Investors suffered loss or damage because of that misstatement. Investors suffered loss or damage due to such misstatement. Investors suffered loss or damage due to such misstatement. So such persons formed as a group. Such persons formed as a group or association. Formed as a group or association such persons formed as a group or association. So they filed a suit. They filed a class action suit. They filed a class action suit. Class action suit means all the persons affected, commonly they will form as a group and they will file a group suit rather than individual shareholder filing a complaint against the company. So as a group, they will file some. They filed a class action suit against the company. They filed a class action suit against the company. Okay, they incurred expenses for that suit. They incurred expenses for such suit. They incurred expenses for filing such suit. They incurred expenses for filing such suit. IEPF will reimburse such expenses. IEPF will reimburse such expenses. IEPF will reimburse expenses to such group or association. Such group or association. This is reimbursement of legal expenses. There is a misstatement in the prospectus. Investor suffered loss or damage due to such misstatement, and such persons formed as a group or association, they filed a class action suit against the company and they incurred expenses for filing such suit, and IEPF will reimburse such expenses to that group or association. That is what this point, reimbursement of legal expenses. And next, this point comes to, okay, so whatever the amount received by one shareholder who committed the fraud, that amount will be paid to the persons who suffered because of the fraud. Okay, so these both are interlinked. These both are interlinked. These both are same, interlinked. So what is this point? This point, fraudulent shareholder to the company. Fraudulent shareholder to the company. So company will pay that amount to the fraudulent shareholder. I'll show you how the transaction flows. Okay, fraudulent shareholder to the company. Okay, securities or money, company to IEPF and IEPF to aggrieved persons. IEPF to aggrieved persons. Sir, who are these aggrieved persons? Persons affected by the, so persons who incurred loss. Persons who incurred loss. Persons who incurred loss due to such fraud. Due to such fraud. So who are affected by this fraud is called aggrieved persons. So company will take the shares or amount from the from that fraudulent shareholder. Company will transfer the amount to the IEPF and IEPF will pay that amount to the aggrieved person. So this is credit or receipt to IEPF. Credit or inflow to IEPF. Credit or inflow to IEPF. And this is pay credit or receipt to IEPF. I can say credit or receipt of funds to the IEPF, credits to the IEPF, and this is utilization from IEPF. Same amount. Company collected from the fraudulent shareholder and company paid that amount to the IEPF, and that IEPF is paying that amount to the agreed person. Therefore, same amount will be shown as a both credit and same amount will be shown as a utilization. So these are the amounts, inflows and outflows from the IEPF. Now look at this, within what time company has to transfer these amounts. So within 30 days of completion of 7 years after becoming due. So within 30 days of completion of 7 years. Within 30 days of completion of 7 years. Okay, within 30 days of completion of 7 years, company will transfer the amount to the IEPF. Okay, this is the online format they have to submit, remit online. Okay, online form, they have to submit this in online form. Company has to submit form number IEPF in online within 30 days from completion of 7 years, and company has to maintain supporting documents for that. Company has to maintain supporting documents for that. IEPF authority, head of the IEPF is called IEPF authority, Investor Education Protection Fund Authority. The person who is responsible for monitoring that funds, IEPF authority, they have a right to inspect such records. They have a right to inspect such records, and all shares in respect of which dividend has been paid or claimed shall also be transferred. So shares shall also be transferred to the IEPF. Not only these amounts, all these shares, not only the dividend, not only the share application money. So the shares to which the dividend on share application money is related to. Okay, the shares to which the dividend and share application money pertains to, that also will be transferred to the IEPF. The shares to which the dividend is related to, that also will be transferred to the IEPF. Okay, right, not only the dividend amount but the shares to which the dividend is related, that also transferred to the IEPF. And the IEPF can claim any person whose shares or unclaimed dividend has been transferred to the fund may claim the shares or apply for refund to the authority. So company to IEPF, IEPF to claimant. So who is claimant? This any person. So what the company will transfer to IEPF? Company will transfer both shares and company will transfer both shares as well as dividend, and IEPF also will pay to the claimant shares as well as dividend. shares as well as dividend. The concerned person, they can claim from the IPF. So company has to transfer the amounts to the IPF within 30 days, within 30 days of completion of 7 years by submitting this form online, and company has to maintain supporting documents for whatever the details entered in that online form. For whatever the details entered in that online form, company has to maintain supporting documents, and IEPF authority has a right to inspect such documents. And not only the dividend amount company has transferred, but also the shares to which the dividend is related to, company will transfer that shares also to the IEPF. And any claimant or legal heir or any other person, they can claim the both shares as well as dividend. Both shares as well as dividend they can claim. They should also submit online application. They should also submit online application. This is the form number IEPF 5 in this website. Website. So you have to remember the form numbers also. IEPF 1 for transfer by the company to the IEPF, IEPF 5 for application by the shareholder to the IEPF. So these are the form numbers which we need to remember. Okay. So this is all about the credits and inflows to the IEPF. Okay. Thank you.